it's on. So we all can assume the positions.
Yeah.
Coming on in.
Come on in, boys. All right, it's a Sunday. It's a football Sunday. And I hope the Giants are winning right now. But so it's our halftime show. Halftime show in the woods. We've been cutting. Walt can scan that a little bit there. We've been cutting a lot today, and this is the toys that we're using here. And just about all of these things have been tweaked a little bit, and we're trying some experimenting. So we have a new member here. This is Joel, who's our tech in the store.
Hi.
And he's he's being indoctrinated, and his job does not depend on anything he does or says today, so he can do whatever he wants.
Wait a minute. Who's been indoctrinating who? He's the one that brought the whole concept of these modifications and degree wheels and stuff into the discussion.
Oh, geez, don't start that. Don't start that, Professor Walter. The professor. Oh, God. See, we have, part of what we're doing here is we're tweaking these saws. These, all the saw geeks, these aren't, none of these, well, a couple of these are stock. Most of them aren't. And we have on this end of the log, we have somebody who's trying to keep it as simple as possible. On the other end of the log is somebody who's trying to make it as complicated as possible.
Oh, geez.
And but the bottom line is we got good results in all this stuff. So we're going to go down. I guess we'll start up at this end. This is the 2166. It's the X-torq version of this 372 2171 chassis. A lot of dealers aren't setting these up right, so what you should know, if you got the X-torq, how do you tell? Well, you got if your decompression is on the top, it's one of the new ones. If it's on the side, it's one of the old ones. And these things do not run at 13.5 like the original ones did. They're only supposed to run at 13. And I know that for the safety guys, other than eye protection, we're really not doing anything cutting on a stationary log, so we've relaxed our standards a little bit, and apologize to anybody who's offended. Let's see. If we have a pause here, just for as a reference cut, this is a stock 562. Really smooth, not bad for a saw that had been run over a few times. There's like 3 different saws it took to get this thing back to being running. You see part of the crankcase is gone. The top is kind of banged up. So these things, they can take a little bit of a beating, but not the kind they've been taking. Probably like in 3rd place. Come on. Off the stage.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is a halftime show style. We're actually supposed to be like the guys on Fox. We should be sitting here with pens and waving our arms and a lot of stupid emotions like they do.
You got bar wrenches and axes.
This is an old. Don't wave them around. This is an old chassis. It's an early. I think it's like a '96. Yeah, it is. Like the 371 chassis when it first came out. It's now got a 365 piston on it that I ground on a little bit. And the idea here is these mods can be done really simple. What we're trying to do is come up with a simple way where anybody can get in and out of the saw in about an hour and a half, and you have some significant gains. So this one we took the piston skirt down a little bit. We also got rid of the cylinder skirt in between the transfer ports. It's an ugly looking saw, and it's busted up here. I would never sell this to anybody because it's kind of been, it's seen really a tough life. So this is the 48 millimeter, and a lot of people say, oh, it's junk, it's the small one, don't pay attention to it. This saw is really running good. I'm happy with this. It came out better than I thought it would. The other tradition we have here up in the woods in central New York is that if there's any metal in the tree, I always find it. So and this is a new chain, so it's probably going to be found with this one if there's anything in here.
That's why I run that old piece of crap.
Astute observers will notice the Jonsered side cover there. So anyway, let's see where we go.
Now that saw is a 365 Farmer Jones.
Yep, 48 millimeter cylinder with the smaller transfer ports. You can see the kind of muff mod we did there. That's a 288 muffler deflector. Just hogged out a nice big hole in there. That's our standard Farmer Jones muffler mod. Okay, what's next up? The X-torq?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this one, what we're trying to do with this, we did a real simple, what we call the mini skirt mod. We just took 50 thousandths off the intake skirt, got rid of the gasket, opened up the muffler, and we're getting really good results with this. Very happy with this.
See, that's the one that impresses me the most, Bob, right there.
Yeah, this is running good. It's still on its first, kind of its first tank of gas.
And that's an X-torq with a mini skirt.
Yep, mini skirt on the piston. Got rid of the gasket, which jumps the compression up on these more than it does on the originals.
Really?
This has got kind of a fair amount of pop to it.
Yeah.
And
That's a ripping machine right there.
And what's important about this for us is they're not making the old ones anymore. So the stuff that you're still buying today, what can we do with the new ones? A lot of people say, oh, you can't make the new ones run. Well, this is running fine.
Yeah, that's
now maybe for the guys that are doing all the real, intricate machine work, they can do more with the old style. But at the level that we're doing these simple basic mods, this thing responds very well.
Yeah.
So,
That's an impressive saw to me right there, Bob.
Yeah.
It's on.
Are we on the air?
Yep.
This is actually a 625, and it is a Jonsered 625 with the open port. And the idea here is a lot of guys, oh, open port, they're no good. Like you got to get rid of it, like you're going to catch a flu from it. But they run pretty good. This has been juiced up a little bit, so we're going to see what it does. And we got rid of the. Actually, it's got a stock muffler, but we messed around with the intake timing on the piston, and we got rid of the gasket. So Not going to be the fastest saw of the day, but other than that, what's wrong with it?
Nothing. It's a
Get
good
a lot
saw.
done with it. Actually, the acceleration got more power, but the acceleration got real good on this thing. I'm messing around with that. All right, grab another one. $21.66. Been on video before. Give him the 72 treatment. Little basic spike special modifications, and these things, they don't respond as good as the originals, so I don't expect this to be much different than the stock one.
I bet you're wrong.
Gonna make a little more noise, but
Yeah,
we'll
no.
see.
All right, that Jonsered 2172 I just tuned, and I set it at 12,970 RPMs, no load. That's about right for those. Gonna make a test cut or two with that. And this is a saw that I take out into the woods, or would take out into the woods, and therefore it's typical of a standard configuration.